The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. First carry for Austin Eckler, who's a Colorado native. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
Allen off the play fake. Caught by Jones. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Mike 91. Set the tone, defense.
Pass 85. Pass 85.
91 is the Mike. Let's go.
Check 91. 91 is the Mike. Mike 91. I smell fear now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Allen is complete to Jones. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Check that. Mike 91.
6-man. Check girls. Check girls.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen, and he whips that one incomplete there.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Allen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready, break.
Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And right away he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now Locke. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A big play here for Buffalo, and even 50 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. 1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
On the counter, it's Yeldon. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hauschka with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Locke. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. McKenzie now to return it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football.
Check 99. Check 99.
They'll run here with Eckler. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11.
Check 90. 5 wide. Stop your body. 90, go.
From midfield, here's Allen. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Kiki QT, 50 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Now, they talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now, this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Exit.
Here is Eckler. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He completes it to Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
This is a counter play. Eckler, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Allen's throw is complete, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now T.J. Yeldon works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Undercrush.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
No.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Hard throw, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the back spin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Going on the ground with Eckler. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Austin Eckler, 62 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those can be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is fielded at the goal line. He juked him.
Take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Now, boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Broncos take over first and 10.
Let's go.
At their own
Let's go.
25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Another run by Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 12 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw his car. He'll buy some time right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. 3rd down here. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Carr trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo, and even 40 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a toss play to Eckler. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, well, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They go back to Grant, and he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant, and he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Grant. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards, a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
We're good.
They'll go again with Lindsey. Down to about the 22 here. And he'll be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 22.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown from 6 yards away. And the Broncos are able to at least make things a bit more respectable. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the run. Strong right.
On 1st down, Allen. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a 1st down on that effort. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll toss it to Yeldon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here?
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Broncos on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Carr. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Bills take over first and 10 at the 48-yard line.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Check. 56.
Crunch. Check 31. Check 31.
Protein spill.
Allen now on first down. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Allen, flush to his right. He'll let it go deep for Foster. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
29.
From the 27th, Carr. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad, 1st and 10. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out. But for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best, Dirt.